It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this elementary edition of Science Bowl. Two outstanding elementary schools here today. Let's meet them now. First from Cherokee Lane, their first ever appearance on Science Bowl. We welcome Marcella Chavez, Alexander Carcamo, and Kanani Kadi. And from Rosaryville, also first time on the Science Bowl. Say hello to Christopher Branch, Zoe Jones, and Sierra Owens. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with the easier questions worth 5 and 10 points, and the tough ones on the right worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. Into the 2 rounds, we will have a competitor for Beacon Heights as we head toward the semifinals in this year's competition. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. Alex, try that buzzer for me. Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Marcella, and to Kanani. And Zoe, would you try yours? Thank you. The green looks like it's in good shape. Good luck to you, to Christopher, and to Sierra. We're proud of all of you guys for representing your schools. Thank you for being part of our game. Let's have a good game now. May the better team win. C before R. We go alphabetically, so Cherokee Lane and Alex, let's play the bowl.
Dateline Science for 5.
Dateline Science for 5 points. Teams, President Obama recently had to leave Indonesia early to escape an ash cloud coming from what? Cherokee Lane. Yes, sir. Alex?
Volcano.
Volcano is right. Yes, there was the Mount Merapi, which was close by, and they didn't want Air Force One to have to contend with any ash particles as that plane was taking off. Go red.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Christmas lights are no longer incandescent. They're LEDs, light-emitting diodes. They are different from incandescent lights because they don't produce any what? They don't produce any what, Cherokee Lane? Yes, sir. Alex? Don't ring in unless you have an idea. Rosaryville LEDs, light-emitting diodes, those are the kinds of lights that you see oftentimes on Christmas trees now, the Christmas lights. They're not incandescent. They're different, these LEDs, because they don't produce any what? Heat. Heat. Okay, most incandescent bulbs give off heat, but these do not, so they're safer in many ways and they're more energy efficient. Try again, red. Again, don't push the buzzer unless you have some idea. Alex, please.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, oh my gosh, if global warming continues the way it has, by the year 2100, scientists say that these P initial constricting snakes will be in Pennsylvania. Rosaryville. Pythons. Can you imagine pythons in Pennsylvania? I mean, we're used to garter snakes. Ooh, I don't think we want to see these going by. Okay, Rosaryville, you're on the board. Tie score 55 all. Zoe.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, if you're not telling the truth, dentition is involved because people say, you're lying through your what, Rosaryville?
Teeth.
You're lying through your teeth. That's right, but I believe you. Go, green.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, lizards, cockroaches, even crickets, like birds and bees, are now doing this to flowers to help them reproduce. Cherokee Lane.
Pollinate.
Pollinate. You got it, young man. Good answer. Go. Red.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, it's a shame that every year we rake up these formerly green things and throw them away, Zoe.
Leaves.
Leaves, that's right, because they could make good compost and good future soil. All right, 70 all, tie score. Rosaryville.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, what body part could be described as long, straight, curly, frizzy, shaggy, snaggy? Rosaryville.
Hair.
Hair, that's right, from the musical Hair. Good, go, green.
Zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade, 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio, if you would. And you're going to see a stingray pop up there. This used to be a trash fish in Southeast Asia, but now people love to eat it. I will give you the points if you can tell me what other name is given to a stingray that sounds like what hockey players do on ice. Rosaryville.
Skate.
Skate.
It is a skate. Yes, good. Go.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, if your teacher gives you litmus paper, blue and red litmus paper, and you dip both of them into orange juice, the red one stays red, the blue one turns red, that tells you that there's a lot of what in orange juice? Cherokee Lane.
Pulp.
Not pulp, good try. Litmus papers, both red, dipped in orange juice. They tell you that orange juice has a lot of what, Zoe? Yes, ma'am. Acid. Acid. Litmus papers are for testing whether something is acid or base. Go again, please. Green.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, a master dendrochronologist can tell you exactly how old a tree is, so you might call him the Lord of the what? Rosaryville.
Rings.
The Lord of the Rings, that's right, because you can count those annular rings to determine how old a tree is or was. Go, green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, Spider-Man, like real spiders, can spin this fabric. Rosaryville.
Silk.
Silk, yes, from the little devices called the spinnerets. Good. All right. Green again.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams, scientists have learned how to turn skin cells into blood cells by using the technology they learned from studying these controversial kinds of cells. Rosaryville. Stem cells is exactly right, and the buzzer means our first round is over. It's been a good one. Our score, Cherokee Lane 70, Rosaryville 115. We'll be back with the second part of our game in just a moment. Don't you go away. And welcome back to Science. Well, nice to have you with us today. I hope you're able to keep up with our 6 young scholars over here. We are so pleased to have them all here, all for the very first time in their schools for the first time in our 25-year history. So it's a really important day for us here. Let's go over to Cherokee Lane. And Alex, tell us about your school. Where is Cherokee Lane?
It's in Adelphi on 25th Avenue.
Very good. And who's your principal?
Mrs. Adams.
And I know she's rooting for you today. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Flood.
Wonderful. We'll bring the sponsor out later. Do you have any alternates on your team?
Yeah, we have Patrick Biganowski.
Okay, and Patrick's out there in the wings, and we'll bring him out a little bit later so you can meet him. You're all wearing matching shirts over there, Alex. And I know yours is not a uniform school. What does your shirt say?
It says CL number 1.
CL, Cherokee Lane, number 1. All right, I know you guys are really proud about your school. You're boosters for Cherokee Lane. What do you like best about your school, Alex?
I would have to say the teachers because they were really helpful.
Absolutely. Boy, without good teachers, a school is really nothing. So that was a perfect answer. Those teachers appreciate that too. What do you want to do someday, Alex, when you get older?
Become a doctor.
A doctor, right. And I can see you being a doctor. You're a very serious-minded young man. And Kanani, you also want to be a doctor, right? You guys can open up practice together there. Now, have you decided on a specialty, either of you yet, or are you still just thinking about medicine in general?
Still thinking.
In general, yeah. Well, that is too early for that. How'd you get interested in medicine, Kanani?
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I just started because like a lot of my friends said that they wanted to be a doctor, and then I wanted to try and be a doctor too.
Right, because you wanted to kind of keep up with your friends. And if you watch some of those medical programs, you get an idea of what it's all about. What do you do in your spare time?
I like to read books or play my video games or play outside.
That's wonderful. And reading is such a good indicator of future success, so you keep reading. Marcella, I know you like to read. You do lots of things. You're into sports and music, and tell us all about it.
I play soccer and I swim, and I've been doing those for a lot of years.
Do you play a musical instrument? What do you play?
I play violin.
Violin. And how long have you played that?
This is my 3rd year.
Your 3rd year. And someday you might be an actress, because what does your mom say about you?
She says I'm a drama queen.
A drama queen. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. We need good actresses. And also you're interested in veterinary medicine. Because how many dogs do you have?
3.
3 dogs. And are you the one who takes care of all of them?
No, my dad helps take care of the 2, and they're my brothers. One is mine.
Wonderful. All right. Nice to have you here, Marcella. Let's go over to Rosaryville. First appearance ever. And you're all wearing matching blue shirts over there as well. What do your shirts say, Zoe?
Science Crew Inquiry.
Wonderful. And this is not your school uniform, is it? No. Would you get to keep those shirts? They're not loaners? That's good. I know you get to keep your shirts as well at Cherokee Lane. So tell us about Rosaryville. Where is it located?
In Upper Marlboro, Maryland.
Yes, it's down in the southern part of the county. Yours is a relatively new school. I can remember when it was dedicated. And who's your principal?
Miss Rhonda Green.
All right, and I know she's very proud of this team. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Miss Bartlow.
Miss Bartlow, who has been part of our game as a judge, and I know she's on the other side now, and she's over there worrying about you and wishing you good wishes today. Tell me about any alternates. I know you had a cast of thousands, it seemed, back there. Tell us about your shadow team. Who was on it?
Cameron Mickens, Varnique Thomas, Taylor Jones, Justin Walker, and Dante Faison.
See, this is why.
Down
all right, well, that's a pretty good memory that you did that. I'm really impressed. Zoe, what do you want to do someday?
I want to become a lawyer.
Lawyer. And we talked earlier, and you like to argue and you win your arguments, don't you? That's great. And I like how you play the game. You're pulling in the talents of your 2 compatriots there, Sierra and Christopher. Sierra, tell us about yourself. You are such a stylish young lady, and you, in fact, want to be a fashion designer, don't you?
Yes.
How'd you get interested in that?
Because I like to watch shows. I like to watch Project Runway, and I like to watch America's Next Top Model. And I like to draw dresses on like little napkins and stuff while I'm at the restaurants waiting for my food.
Very good. So you never waste time. You're always observant, and boy, that's the mark of a successful person. What else do you do in your spare time?
I write poetry, and I also play with my little brother.
Wonderful. What's his name?
Carter.
All right. I know he's going to be watching you.
CJ.
Thank you. Thank you. Christopher, nice to have you here. Young man who wants to be a pilot someday, among other things. Wants to play lacrosse for Johns Hopkins. You play lacrosse now, don't you?
Yes.
Do you play for an organized team?
Yeah, I play for the Dunkirk Warriors.
Wonderful. All right. And pilot, you had some other options too, didn't you?
I would also, if pilot doesn't work or I need something else to do, I would like to be a biologist.
Biologist. That's wonderful. And what do you do in your spare time when you're not playing lacrosse?
In my spare time, I read and I watch TV on the computer.
Wonderful. All right. Nice to have you part of our game today. Let's get back to it. Good score here, 115 Rosaryville, 70 for Cherokee Lane. Lots of points to give away. Last correct answer came from the green team. So Zoe, would you start us out?
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If you're heating water on the stove and it starts to boil and you stick in a thermometer and it reads 100 degrees, you're thinking, boy, what kind of thermometer must I have? What kind, Cherokee Lane? What'd you think, Alex?
A Fahrenheit thermometer?
Not a Fahrenheit. Good try. Rosaryville, if the water is boiling and the thermometer says 100 degrees, you must have what kind of thermometer?
Celsius.
Celsius, that's right, because water boils at 100 on the Celsius scale. No, it has to be up at 212 on the Fahrenheit thermometer. Go green. Good comeback. Nice try there, Alex. Get them next time.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade, 15 points. Your question is a multiple choice question. Teams, the largest toothed predator in the world, and also the animal with the largest brain is the blue whale, the sperm whale, or the killer whale. Which of those 3 whales, Cherokee Lane?
Sperm whale?
The sperm whale, absolutely right. With all those teeth, of course, the blue whale has baleen and just eats plankton, and the killer whale is much smaller. Red, go. Alex.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points, teams. Atop Mount Haleakala in Hawaii is the world's largest one of these kinds of cameras. Zoe?
Volcanoes.
Not volcanoes, no. I don't think you listened quite to the whole question. Cherokee Lane atop Mount Haleakala in Hawaii is the largest of these kinds of cameras, almost 1,500 megapixels strong. What kind of camera? Yes, sir. Answer, please. Digital. Digital camera. The largest digital camera. Try again, red.
Dateline Science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, a disturbing piece of news here. The worst drug in America, worse than meth or heroin or PCP, is this drug used by so many people that at one time was not available because of prohibition. Rosaryville, worst drug in the country.
Marijuana.
Not marijuana, good try. One time you couldn't get it because of prohibition. It's available now, but it is used by so many people, and that's why it's the worst drug.
Tobacco.
Alcohol. Alcohol. Try again, please, red.
Dateline Science for 15.
Dateline Science for 15 points. Teams, the last space shuttle mission next year, the Endeavour, will take the last piece up into space to complete the ISS, which is the International what? Rosaryville.
Space Station.
Yes, ma'am. The International Space Station will then be complete after that last shuttle flight. Nicely done. Green.
15.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, please. It takes the science of physics to make this paper folding art to produce this rhino. Rosaryville.
Origami.
Origami, absolutely, which is making a comeback as an avocation. Go again. Green.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, if someone has dark circles under their eyes, oftentimes it's the result of these smallest of blood vessels broken up. Rosaryville.
Capillaries.
Capillaries, that's right. Broken capillaries, the source of that large bruising underneath people's eyes. Go, green. Come on, Cherokee Lean, let's jump on these.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, what kind of plant can be so small that it's microscopic like phytoplankton, or it can be 100 feet across, making a jungle of kelp? What same kind of plant can go from microscopic to macroscopic? Rosaryville.
Fungi.
Not fungi, good try. Tiny phytoplankton to giant beds of kelp. Same kind of what plant? Algae. Algae, good comeback, that's what I want to hear. Okay, go red.
Zooparade for 20.
Zooparade for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. The great journeys made by monarch butterflies and Arctic terns and wildebeests are known as the great what? Rosaryville.
Migrations.
Migrations, yes indeed. A series on National Geo depicts those wonderful trips. Go, green.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25, the big one in that category. Teams, if you get certain kinds of arthritis, if you have type 1 diabetes or psoriasis, your body is literally attacking itself, which means that what body system is not working as it should? As it should for 25 points, Rosaryville.
Immune.
The immune system, absolutely right. Those are called autoimmune diseases. Green.
Zooparade for 25.
Zooparade for 25. Teams, animals that lack melanin and are therefore all white and have pink eyes are known as what kinds of animals? Green.
Albino.
Albinos, yes, that is the condition known as albinism. Go again. Rosaryville.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25 points. Teams, the seeds inside of pine cones literally get hot. Only insects that can see IR radiation can find those seeds. What does IR stand for? IR, Rosaryville.
Infrared.
Infrared, absolutely. They can detect that heat and they zoom in and they can get those seeds. Excellent. Go. Rosaryville.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline for 20 points, teams. Because of recent attempts to bomb airliners, passengers can no longer take along these in their luggage that are found in printers. Rosaryville.
Ink cartridges.
Ink cartridges, absolutely right. Toner and ink cartridges because someone in Yemen allegedly tried to put a bomb aboard a cargo plane using those very devices. All right. All right, Rosaryville, you're racking up the points. Cherokee Lean, I don't want you to give up on me. Stay with me here. Go, Zoe.
Dateline for 25.
Dateline for 25 points, teams. Recently, people in this country got very scared. It looked like a rocket took off from Los Angeles. There was a big trail in the sky. Turned out it was an airplane, and the trail was a contrail. Contrail. The con part stands for what process? Where? Rosaryville.
Condensation.
Condensation trail, that's it, when gases or vapors are reduced to liquid. Thank you, Christopher and Sierra, for your help on that. All right, we have 4 questions left. You choose, Zoe.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Only recently in geological history have adult human beings developed the ability to digest milk sugar, which is lactose. This change over a course of time in characteristics is known as what? As what, Rosaryville?
Evolution.
Evolution, that's right. We have evolved the ability, even though we are weaned and no longer drink breast milk, to continue to drink and digest milk as adults. Green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, that Chilean mine where those people were trapped for months, they were mining gold and they were mining this other mineral that we associate with piping and pennies. Rosaryville.
Copper.
Copper, that's right. It was a gold and copper mine combined. We have 2 questions left. Let's get physical and science potpourri. Which one?
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points, teams. All the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were produced this way because they were all females. They were only produced by what method, Rosaryville?
Cloning.
Cloning is right. And the last question of the game, let's get physical for 25 points. Here it is. Homer Simpson works at a nuclear power plant in Springfield, but he carelessly tosses around the material that any Geiger counter would say to him is what? Alex. What you think, young man? He's throwing around material that he shouldn't because the Geiger counter would tell him that the stuff from the nuclear power plant is what? What do you want to say?
Iron?
Not iron. What do you think, Zoe?
Radioactive.
Radioactive. Absolutely right. And with that, our game is over. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't you go away. And welcome back. It was a day of firsts. A first ever appearance for Rosaryville and Cherokee Lane. It was the Battle of the Blues, and everybody won today. What great students we had here. Our final tally is Cherokee Lane 105, Rosaryville 400 points. What a debut you made over there, Christopher and Zoe and Sierra. And you can see why they were successful. Look at the shadow team back there. Wave as I call your name. Zaria, Ronique, Justin, Dante, Taylor, Cameron, the very proud principal, Miss Green, and the equally proud sponsor, Miss Denise Bartlow. Thank you for being here today. Cherokee Lane, let's see some smiles. You guys played a great game. I loved having you, Marcella and Alex and Kanani, our future doctors and our veterinarian. Miss Folks, thank you for being here today. And Miss Flood, I know you worked very hard to get everybody ready. And Patrick waved everybody. You're part of the team, too. You're wearing that nice shirt. Thank you for being here today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.